We got a bus right here. Oops, no, don't cancel the bus. Oh man, what did I do? Put the bus stop back in. Okay, people are happy. I just wanted to find a bus. So let's cancel the whole transportation view. Click on the bus. Follow the bus. Ooh, nice. That's a really busy bus stop. Alright, so lots of people getting on and off. In fact, if we could get some larger buses that held more than 30 people, that would probably be good. A few people got off there. Lots of people unloading, so this bus is definitely well used. A couple people got on and off. People who got out. This is our residential line. People loading up there. And where's our metro station? Are we coming up on that soon? Okay, so this random bus that we selected is being well used. There's the crematorium. And I think our metro station might have been just back there too. And we should probably improve this road since it's being used by buses and it's in, we've got all these high-rises here too. So let's, tree-line street, improve the dirt path, some tree-line stuff. And what's noise pollution like? Wow, we got some pretty noisy stuff here, but I think this is already covered in trees, so there's not much we can do to reduce that. The Mall of Moderation apparently is quite noisy. This area here is really noisy, including inside the park, which is a little unfortunate. Alright, let's select some other buses to track. Yeah, we need more buses. The demand for transit seems pretty high, so our buses are definitely getting their money's worth, although we pay for transit. So people like the buses. People want to ride the buses. Their only complaint is that there aren't enough buses. And we see two more buses ahead of us. There's probably a bunch of buses behind us. Whoa. Okay, so the bus got away from me, but we'll just follow this bus now. No bus is following behind us. The bus stations... look at those lines! What are we going to do about this? Our transit funding is already pretty high, I think. We could pump that up even higher and cancel free bus passes. Alright, let's just up our bus funding. We need bigger buses. We need like futuristic space buses. That's what we need. But anyways, I think the buses are going quite well. Alright, Hideos, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. We've done a bunch of nice stuff to this side of the highway. It's time to expand. It seems like the chat was liking the idea of dropping 6 lanes in a nice little U and not hooking stuff up to them too much so that the traffic flow is still good. But we'll have to build some new off-ramps. On-ramps and on-ramps. Off-ramps and on-ramps. And this area is already really crowded. We could build a set right here and a set right here, and then draw the U's out from there. Privately funded spacecraft leaves Earth for Moon. And another building is burnt down. We've got a lot of abandoned buildings. Alright, let's convert the curvy industrial park to an office park. Although, if anything needs to be converted, it's this area, because there are so many abandoned buildings. The thing is, I don't think people want to have offices by all these windmills and the garbage dumps. So we'll just push all of the industry that's here and turn that into offices. Alright, let's dezone this. starting, oops, not that, but we'll dezone all of this stuff. And maybe this whole section here. Alright, and we'll replace all of that with offices. Let's see. We probably need the top-down view to do this properly. Okay, fill that all in. There's the odd factory that's still remaining. Cancel that. Fill that in. And clear that stuff out. Alright, well, we accidentally dezoned this, so let's continue there. We're gonna lose a lot of money destroying all this stuff here. But I think that's the way the demographics of our city is headed. So we'll push all of the vibrant industry here, hopefully into these spots here, and they'll reclaim some of these empty buildings, because that's just not good. Okay, so now for expansion to the south. Let's get started on that. We have 2.6 million. It's been building up steadily while we were playing Tinkering with Transit. So let's start on our off-ramps. Alright, so we could use this pre-built thing again, the three-way intersection. Let's see. Where exactly would I put that? Let's rotate around. We would demolish all of this and just have them turn directly in, and we'd have it stick out from here. Alright, let's do that. Pause the game. Don't want to upset anyone while they're driving on the highway. And plop this down. Alright, how do I rotate this? Right mouse button does seem to do the job. Let's see, can I fit this in here? I'll have to bulldoze this little bit. Alright, so I think this is more or less what we want, but now it's going to have trouble hooking in over here. This thing's a little too large and unwieldy. Space already occupied. Alright, we might have to completely rebuild all of this. And we can't plow that because we don't own the adjacent space. We might have to rebuild this off-ramp as well. So we have space if we go like this, but that really messes up the traffic flow. The train line is getting in the way. We can rebuild the train line too. Alright, let's temporarily plow this down. Revolution wants to see a custom exit. We could do that. And I think we'll have to, because this thing is way too big for what we need it to do. Alright, so we'll build the train out again once we finish making our custom exit. So let's rebuild the highway into something sensible. Let's see, highways, we'll build them as highways with sound barriers. And let's see, out of city limits, I know it's out of the city limits, but I want to extend, oh, so the replacement is the problem. Okay, so, let's see, this is going to be a nice curvy road. We will head over this way fairly hard, and then, no, that's not right. Right, so we want to keep the same direction, a gradual turn so the drivers don't drive off the road, over like this. Then we'll keep that direction and curve over like this. Well, then maybe a little further along, we'll do a straight section, and then we'll start the curve. Okay, so relatively straight and then curving around. Alright, so I do like the turns on that. Now we'll finish off over here. Let's see, a curving road, yes, straight ahead, curve over, it doesn't have to match up perfectly. Straight ahead, curving, maybe too far. Straight-ish ahead, curving, straight-ish, and curving, and straight, curving. Perfect. Alright, so that's a nice replacement of what we tore up just a few minutes ago. Now we need a custom exit. So the people coming in will need a way off, and that's going to have to be some form of an overpass. So let's see, how did they do it here? Well, from the other direction. So it's off to the right and then up and over. So we could go off to the left and then up and over. That seems fair. Alright, let's do that right now. So off-ramp, starting here with sort of a curving shape, like that, and then we'll grade up. Sort of straight, but then curving around, too steep. That connects up again. Alright, let's go about there. And it's too steep. Alright, so we need to curve out a little more. We'll cancel this last bit of road. Now Revolution, you did ask for this, so if fiddling around with roads is not your thing, well, this is what we're going to be doing for the next 20 minutes. That might be an exaggeration, but let's see. Page down. Let's see. Slightly off. Okay, a short one. And then we want page up. We'll start climbing, then we cross the road, lock in there. It's a bit of a sharp turn. I don't really like the look of that. But it's not significantly sharper than what the built-in on-ramp is doing. So let's go to there. Yeah, that looks a little gentler. And then, let's see, we want to start our U over here, so we'll just page down here. Okay, so that's fine. That's the off-ramp. Now, people need to get back onto the highway. And what they did here was have them cross over. And we could do the same thing, copy that. Just one needs to be higher than the other. Or, well, I mean, that's not a bad design. Let's repeat that. We're just doing it in a slightly more compact way, I guess. Okay, off-ramp or on-ramp. Space already occupied. And can we start grading up here, page up? Okay. Over this way. And we'll page up again. This one will have to be slightly higher. Page down. And page down. Alright, cool. That looks kind of messy, but it'll do the job. Let's, yeah, that looks like a real highway. Sort of. And then over here, we can just do no raised roads required. Off-ramp. Let's see. Okay, wait, this one doesn't make sense. So, direction of traffic. These guys go on here, but these guys don't have any sensible way to get off. Alright, that was a minor mistake. Let's redo that then. Okay, so let's see. Off ramp here. We'll swing off like this. Nope, that's not gonna do it. Off ramp here. Pretty much straight, but then we're wanting to turn off fairly rapidly. No, that's really dangerous. Alright, off ramp here. Straight, turning off. Give them some time to slow down, and going up on the ramp will help them with their speed. Page up again, forward and curving around. Forward and curving around. Right, no, that's not good. Forward, curving around, page down. Alright, so we're on solid ground again, and now things make sense. Oh no, I messed that up again. We had it right the first time. Why are we building two off-ramps for the same road? Yes, that was supposed to be the on-ramp, and the one that I demolished, actually made sense. Alright, so, we can still... Oh, alright, well I actually like the look of this one better, so we'll keep this one, and we'll get rid of the first one. I think I'm just getting a little sleepy. Well, that's okay. We've got one beautiful little off-ramp here, and now we have to build an on-ramp for the westbound lane. So, to do that, we're gonna come in like this, and we'll curve around like this too. Alright, so, and in that way, it'll be very different from the default on-ramp. Okay, so this is the new on-ramp. Go like this, and we'll start slightly rising up. And then start turning around like this. And page down. Let's see, it's a little too close. Alright, page up. And then page down. Page up, lock in, page down. Okay, good. So we've got our on-ramp and our off-ramp for the westbound lane. Now the eastbound lane should be a little easier. And I have to build it in the proper direction since it's a one-way. Oh no. Okay, so did we do this one correctly? This is the on-ramp, but the direction, oh, all right. But this one's fine, right? Yeah, so this one's fine. This fancy little elephant ear thing is fine. This one, however, we have to build in reverse. It'd be nice if there was just a switch direction button for roads. But, I mean, that wasn't so hard. We'll get this set up right over here. Now, let's think about this. We could have only on-ramps on this side and only on-ramps, off-ramps on this side and have it one way, a U going through the entire town. What do you think about that idea, chat? Why don't you think about that? We're gonna have this area is exclusively on-ramps, this area is exclusively off-ramps, and a one-way, 6-lane highway that runs as a U through the new town. You think about that, and I'm gonna go and grab myself something sugary to drink. And we'll pull this down to the new construction area. Alright, I'm back. So we've got approval for the one-way idea. And so let's get that going over here. We'll get rid of the bulldozer. And so this seems like a good spot to start that. We'll just swing that through here, something like this. Alright, so we have, this is going to be our on-ramp. This is where we start, and for these guys coming from the west, we need an on-ramp there too, or an off-ramp off the highway. Put this in like this, and pull this over. No, I don't like where that's starting. Put this over like this, straight, and then curving off just as the road itself curves. Space already occupied by what? Space already occupied. I'm not sure I follow. Alright, so we'll pull off like this, or just like this. Okay, that's fine. And that means I want to realign this one so they both join up for the same 6-lane. And I do need to catch up on chat. So Revolution's answered some questions here. Wait, stop side scrolling it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so this is a preview version. The game is available for pre-order on Steam, and it will be released on March 10th. So that's 2 to 3 days from now. Zorbak wants me to do arc roadways. All curved. Well, we've got a mix of arced and straight, so that'll be fine. And my intersections are a bit more curvy than Quill's. And I have no idea what the compatibility for the other operating systems are, but let's get moving with this. Okay, so I really like this off-ramp. But if I want them both to join up into the same 6-way, then we'll probably just want it to exit right here. This exit looks okay. I mean, it's a little bit of an abrupt turn. I'd rather have it turn off here. So if I can try to get that to happen, then that'll decide what we do with this exit. I don't know why it wants to turn me off so abruptly. Like here, that looks much more natural. But apparently it overlaps too much with the main highway. Yeah, I guess we don't have a choice. We have to do an abrupt turn off like that. Like maybe over here, if I did it over here, I'd feel a little better about it. I do like the way that that looks quite a bit better. It does look a little dangerous too, though. Ah well, if we don't have a choice and we have to cut off quite so aggressively, then I'll just build this off-ramp, or on-ramp, rather. Right up against our other off-ramp. Alright, so that'll be the start of our 6-lane. So 6-lane, one-way, off-ramp with trees, decorative trees. Let's see, is this actually where we want it? We'll run down something like this, about to here. We'll make it curvy. So a slight bend starting right away. Or we'll do this stretch straight. And then we'll start on a curvy stretch, say to here, bending down like this. Maybe that's a little too far to the edge. Yeah, something like this seems good. And then we'll go straight. Right over to say here. Put in a curve. Spin it around like this. And switch back to the straight, and then we'll hook back up to the highway. Alright, so we'll see how this all ends up working out. We do have, if we go for equal distance, there's going to be a bit of a dead zone here relative to the distance to the edge of the map. But let's see what we can do with this. So, if we want to merge up, we could keep it on off-ramp. Let's start this a little closer. That. And let's hook this up. Can they merge together? Ooh, that doesn't look good at all. Okay, that looks a little better. No stoplights. This curve is a little abrupt. But mechanically, I think it should work just fine. Alright. So that seems okay. Now we want on-ramps. So, we've got the rail network in the way. Looks like we need to raise that up again temporarily, and we need to fix this guy. Okay, up to here, say. Grab a curly piece. And page up. Alright, so that's repaired. Possibly looking nicer than it was originally. But this section needs to be raised. Let's bring the 6-lane right up to here, and, well, how elaborate of an on-ramp do we need? So we do need to cross back over, and probably drop something in over here. So we've got our off-ramp, and now we need to get back on the highway. So something merging in like this. Attach both off-ramps to merge them. Alright, we can try that. Instead of connecting them right up to the 6 lane, we can merge them first. Definitely worth a try. Okay, so now they're merged. Sort of. And if I were to hook this back up, and I hope I made these one-ways. Let's see, are there road markings that... Yep, they're one-ways, good. Yeah, in real life this would cause major traffic jams. But let's see what happens in Skylines. Okay, so... our on-ramp. We have to start it on this side. Rather than raising the rail line, we can just raise ourselves up here. Let's start it here. And start raising up. So we cross the rail line. Cross over here, start curving around. Say like this, and can we start going down? No, not yet. Alright, so straight-ish line. Page down. And then merge onto the highway. Yeah, that looks kind of dangerous. But it works. Maybe. Alright, well, we'll try it with that. Alright, and so we also need to find a way to jump on, or we can just take where the rail's already here. Alright, so on-ramp, let's see, we'll start it up over here and just merge in directly. Okay, so now we need to merge these two. The reason I started this over here is just because we had the space. But if we want to make things look nice, we should probably bring them together sooner. Alright, well, direction is important. We have to build them in the right direction. The correct direction. Okay, let's see if we can connect these up. Come on. So we've got some weird terrain issues going on here. We've got a hill that's potentially going to mess some stuff up. But we'll go and build the off-ramp right from here. And are we using a curve right now? Yes, we are. Okay, so off like this. And have you go and join up like that. The last ramp is shaped wrong. Yes, it is. Alright, good. So that's what we wanted. Oh, but we did it in the wrong direction. They're one-ways, and we have to draw them in the direction of travel. Okay, let's try that again. Straight, curve to the side, but go straight, go diagonally, and sort of squiggle in the way that I want you to. Alright, so that's good. Now for this on-ramp. Alright, that's a mess, but I think that's the mess we're gonna go with and try to test. Okay, let's unpause that and see if anyone decides to drive here just, you know, for fun. Nice little scenic route. We'll see how this works. We're going for a little Sunday drive in our newly planned out community, semi-planned out community. Okay, let's see what they do. What are they gonna do? Alright. Yes, yes. Success. Alright, so people were tricked into driving onto this road to nowhere, but there's soon gonna be a community here. Alright, first, these guys are gonna need some water. We don't want to take water from here. We've got a lot of abandoned buildings. So we'll just take water from the main city. Although we are reaching both of our electricity, sewage, and water capacity limits. Okay, so we need to run some pipes in here. We have a lot of demand for residential and commercial. We will go and fill in the center ring first, and then worry about filling the outer ring later. We can also, if people don't want to get to the city purely by going onto the freeway, we can also get a second 6-lane in from the city. But let's just see how the city does on its own first. Okay. Let's put in some tree-lined streets, two-way streets, right over here, using the straight line tool. Maybe over here instead. Yeah, that looks good. Well, I don't know if I want to have businesses directly off of the 6-lane. That's probably okay. Alright, let's build this out here. And we have 2 million just because we've had this running for a while. While I was fiddling around with bus routes, we were bringing in almost 10,000 a second, or whatever the unit of time is. And we got up to 2 million. Enough money to play around with weird traffic designs. Right, so we don't want to connect up too many times. Say, once here, and once here. Overall, this is a really long block though, so we're not going to connect here, but we are going to build a road out to here just to break things up. Or maybe not there exactly. Probably right in the center. Alright, that looks nice. And this will be just a little dead end. Or not even, we'll leave that as is. Alright, so there's demand for offices. We'll put a bunch of offices right here. Low density commercial now. Let's see, would anyone like to set up shop in this forest on the other side of the freeway? Maybe if the taxes are really low or something like that. I can't see this being a particularly attractive spot. And now, people, some suburban types, might be sick of all the high-density residential, and so they want to come here for some nice suburban living. Now, these guys do need water. We'll pipe some water in for them over from the other side of the city. And they also need power. Alright, so they're watered, now they need to be powered. We could set up some, well, what does the wind look like in this area? We probably just want solar though. Let's see, the solar plant. We could set up a solar plant like right over here. There's probably not too many. Must be placed on a roadside. The highways apparently do not count. Well, let's pause this. I don't want those guys to be without electricity forever. We could build the solar out right here, just away from the train tracks and all the rest. Let's see. Yeah, we are going to need the extra capacity. We can afford it. Let's build that now. It does generate a little noise, but so does a highway. So we'll drop this. Let's see. Right here. Somewhere right here. Good. Alright, and we'll also connect that up to the rest of the grid. So, let's see. Do pylons have trouble crossing roads? A little trouble. Alright, so that's hooked up. We've got some buildings burning down. These guys probably need their own fire service. And Mujaboom wants the solar on the outer ring. Well, it's close to the outer ring. Okay, we've got a lot of power availability. The solar plant looks pretty cool, I gotta say. Right, let's see how these people feel about their lives. And no traffic, of course, because almost no one needs to come here. Now, what are we going to do for the central ring? Do we want to cut across with another 6-lane? Maybe. Alright, so we still have a lot of residential and commercial demand. Let's get another one-way in here, in case they need to make a quicker cut across the U-shape. And yes, that building did burn down, and I cared not at all. Our industrial sector is almost completely abandoned, and our stream suspects it's because our population is a little overeducated for the types of industries we were running when we first started our town. Okay, let's go and build out another 6-lane. 3-line, 6-lane. Right over here, one way, or maybe we don't want everything to be one way. The residents can have an internal 6-lane that goes both ways. Madness. Yeah, and we could hook it up with the central city 6-lane. Alright, let's do that. And if that's the case, then I'll just build out more of these residential, low-density suburban stuff all around the inside of the ring, but I'll leave space to hook up the outside one-way 6-lane ring with the inside 2-way 6-lane ring. Let's try that. Who knows how it's going to work out? Not me, that's for sure. Okay, so tree-lined 2-way. I'll bring that down to, say, here. And we're going to leave a full block space right here. Although it does mean we're going to have to drop those ugly power pylons. And do we actually want to hook into the 6-ring here? No, we don't. But I will drop a bit of road there just to remind me not to zone anything. There's nothing terribly wrong with bulldozing people's homes and businesses. I just feel bad about it. So we'll do that, and this is probably the right spot to hook into the 6-ring again. And let's rotate around. A Hurricane 501789. I really don't know anything about the technical specifications of this game. I'm using an older generation i7 on my computer. I don't remember. I think it's a 3000 series, so is that 3rd generation or 4th generation? Probably 3rd generation. But yeah, it's running pretty smoothly. I love that you can zoom in on everything here. Let's do another low density residential. And do we want a line down the center? Yes, yes we do. Break things up a little. And as for the office park, just another large office park. But I am curious to see. We probably want some commercial too, so they can do their grocery shopping without having to drive back to the main town. Let's erase some of this. And we'll put a little high density commercial in over here. Surely some of high density commercial means large grocery stores or something similar where they can get, you know, the basic necessities. And we do need to do something about this industrial area. It's really becoming an eyesore. I mean, from above, most of the buildings aren't all gray and burnt out, but a lot of them are flashing abandoned. Let's see, the office area is doing really nice. The more southern industrial area is doing just fine. Let's see, and does that mean that super fancy rail depot that we spent so much time and we're so happy we built out isn't being well utilized anymore since industry is dying? Anyways, we've reached capital city status. 32,000 citizens. And we get a harbor and a cargo harbor. That's cool. Although, I would have been really excited about the cargo harbor previously when we were trying to really make our industrial sector grow. And I don't think our citizens are too interested in travel, because when I turned on, well, let's turn our train station back on and see if people will actually use this now. Turn on. People are really happy about that, so at least we've got that going for us. And let's check the stats on our train cargo thing. Cargo train terminal, operating normally. We can open the budget panel. Okay, so trains are still coming and going. Let's see if we can get some stats on the train itself. It's only 33% loaded. Well, that's so sad. This train line used to be like super efficient. It revitalized our industrial area for a good chunk until that wretched university started giving our citizens greater aspirations. Oh well. Alright, how's this place doing? It needs water and power, so put an ugly pylon in over here until we figure out exactly how we're going to connect the inside and the outside of our weird traffic design. Alright, so we're getting that all hooked up. And this simple model does seem like a good way just to expand our population quickly. Let's have a look at what our fire coverage is in this area. It's not fantastic. The fire trucks will drive across the highway here. It looks like there is a reasonable path, but then it starts to drop off a little more distantly. But let's put in a... and what about crime? Crime's fine. Let's put in a... and health. Health is not the greatest. Let's put in a fire house. Police station, no. firehouse. Okay, and we're gonna put the firehouse right down here. Maybe closer to the one-way doesn't really help the movement of fire engines, does it? Alright, off to the side then. Maybe like right here. That seems good. They can take local traffic, and if they really need to, they can zip all the way down and back into the city. And I am using low-density residential here. We could do high-density residential on the outer ring, or maybe in the center, but while I'm testing this out, I'm just going with the low density. Do you think we should do high density? I also feel really bad that this suburban area is not at all being served by our awesome public transit. Let's bring up the transit map. Wait, what's this saying? Crossroads, traffic, standstill. Alright, well, let's bring that back up to full speed. And traffic's not getting any better. And a building burned down. We could plow out this entire central section and put in a highway. Especially since when we built all those offices in high density residential, that made this area get much more congested. Alright, well, we turned this train station on a while back. Let's see how it's doing. We've had 0 passengers serviced. People are happy that we have a train station. Costs us quite a bit of money, but no one's using it. I think we need like some international tourism draws before this train does anything for us. Alright, we'll turn it back off. Alright, well, we kind of are building a low education area right here because we don't have any schools at the moment. Like maybe we'll put in an elementary school and just ignore the high schools for a little bit and see what happens. Doesn't seem quite right. Alright, let's build the rest of this U out. We can have an internal road down to, say, here, but without connecting in. And then we'll build out from here, or up one from there. Yeah, that looks good. We'll go all the way to the end. And build a second block up here, all the way across. Alright, so how am I going to subdivide this? Maybe over to here, and then here, right here, and then we'll actually connect up. And I do want to leave another spot for possibly having a 6-lane come up the center. So let's see, maybe this is, we'll just remember not to zone that area. In fact, what I'll do is purposely zone that right now so that I don't forget. Let's see, do we want to build high residential? No, we'll keep this very suburban. Okay, so only this area, not this, not that. And low density commercial, sure, let's put some of that in just in case we need to bulldoze that later. Okay, that seems fine. And we'll look back into the outer ring and just have another dead end here. We are trying to see if a massive U-shaped single direction 6-lane is going to solve our traffic problems. Okay, so these guys are without power and electricity. We are going to need to put in some more low density stuff and hope that comes online before these guys get too upset. And do we want, well, let's put in a high density shopping zone here and here. That's fine, and then some more offices. Let's see, We've got a new building. Train tracks, train station, cargo train terminal, train line. We can get surface subways, essentially. That's cool. Alright, but that's not what I'm worried about right now. What I want is more offices. That's fine. And, well, let's see if people will move in. We'll definitely give them water. And see if they can tolerate being without power for just a little longer. How's our water doing? We need more capacity. I guess the entire city will be fed by this pumping region. Let's drop another water pump. And hooked up. And this sewage treatment region. I'll go and drop another sewage treatment plant. Let's see, we don't have space exactly. We can build that right here. It is kind of nice that it's one of the few buildings that doesn't need to be connected to the roads, but we do need to connect the pipes. And we're connected by water. And are we connected by power? Not yet. These things need to grow and expand over. I don't know, I don't really want to drop any power pylons. They are quite the eyesore. Alright, so we are connected up. Alright, perfect. And we've got a new building here. The cargo harbor. Ships goods and materials needed for industry. Well, since our cargo railway isn't running at full capacity anymore, I don't think we need to put in a cargo harbor, although I really like the idea of one. Oh, well, this guy's got 100% load. That's not bad. Let's see. And actually, no, we still have a lot of abandoned buildings. But it doesn't seem to be quite as much of a problem as before. Bulldoze these burnt out husks. Wireless networks are freely available to everyone in the world. Is that what that just said? Let's switch back to the cursor. Alright, and apparently we're having electricity problems. No, we're just fine there. That tweet meant nothing. Alright, so these guys, they need more workers. We could start putting in some high density residential. Let's see if anyone will actually live here. And we should probably put in some parks too. Alright, well first we'll zone some high density residential. See if that populates, and we'll put in some more high density commercial. Maybe right up there. Some of these stores are really difficult to get to because you get on the one way, 6-lane, you get in, but then how do you get home? And especially since some of these guys aren't hooked up. Stitchy asks what my PC specs are. I've got a 3rd generation i7 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, an SSD. My graphics card is the GTX 660 Ti, and I think that's all that's relevant. So I've got a mid-tier PC from like 2 years ago. I built it myself, and